There's a reason why major campaign reform must be undertaken. There's also a reason to shorten the campaigning period. If you don't know who this is Donna Brazil, and she was the interim head of the Democratic National Committee after the resignation or removal, whichever way you see it, of Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Now, in full disclosure, I was and still am a Bernie Sanders supporter. And I say that because Bernie Sanders got jobbed. He got ripped off. The process was rigged against him, and even with that, he almost won. Now, Hillary Rodham Clinton is a snake, is a thief, is a liar, and there are several other adjectives that could be used in describing her. Donna Brazil has come out with a book where she basically comes clean, and she's guilty too, because during the debates she fed the questions to the Clinton campaign. But that's not even the worst part of all of this. There are a lot of people who deserve blame for the election of Donald Trump. Let's start with our former president, Barack Obama. Barack Obama left the Democratic National Committee in debt after 2012 of approximately, I believe it was either 10 or 12 million dollars. I think it was $12 million in debt. Instead of him doing what previous presidents had done, which was to do major fundraisers for the Democratic National Committee, he basically went out on his own and formed his own national committee, which in effect left the Democratic National Committee to fend for itself, and it was unable to do so. This was the first domino in the long chain of dominoes to fall, which helped Donald Trump. When it came time for the 2016 election season, with the DNC being in such tremendous debt, this opened the door for the Clinton campaign to take control of it. Now, Obama at the same time appointed, and it was Obama that appointed her, Debbie Wasserman Schultz as the head of the DNC. Well, anybody who knew anything knew that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was in the pocket of Hillary Clinton, and this was before her appointment. Her being the head just made it easier, with the DNC being in such debt, to cede control of the DNC to Hillary Rodham Clinton. And we were all wondering why the number of debates were so limited. We were wondering why, when there was a problem with the utilization of the statistical data by the DNC, when Bernie Sanders people found a problem with various firewalls and reported the problems, why Debbie Wasserman Schultz jumped all over Bernie Sanders to the point of trying to lock him out and away from the information, when it was his people that brought it to the attention of the DNC what the problem was. But with that being said, there were a lot of people that were out there screaming blue murder that something stunk to high heaven as far as the DNC was concerned, i.e. Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And at every turn, if there was anything that could have been done to favor Hillary Clinton, it was done. And now we know why. Because Hillary Clinton's campaign controlled the purse strings for the DNC, and any decision that the DNC made had to be run past the Clinton campaign first for approval. So the next time someone says that something doesn't seem right, something smells funny, something looks like it's fixed, we can always refer back to the 2016 campaign and note that anything, including our own elections, at least the primaries, have the ability to be fixed because we have a prime example of it occurring. So you have Barack Obama, who was at fault. You have Hillary Clinton, whose tired campaign, whose, let's call it, supposed privilege, put her into a position to lose again. You have Donna Brazile feeding questions to that campaign. You have the Russians jumping in there and targeting various segments of the electorate on one side to reduce the minority vote, and I'll say it, they targeted black people and had various electronic bots and even humans pushing black people away from the polls by attacking Hillary Clinton and her record on racial issues. You also had the Russian bots inflaming the right-wing electorate, pushing them into the polls. And then you had this prick, Donald Trump, racist, misogynist, etc., who helped to fan the flames of his own people via racial divide, and I'll say that as well. Every opportunity he got to make a race an issue, he jumped all over it. And then you had the people of color who basically swallowed a lot of the bullshit. So, Donna Brazile, I guess we need to thank you for at least blowing the whistle. Bernie Sanders should have jumped up and down a bit more, but he being, I guess, more civil than his opponents, decided not to do it. But the selling of the soul of the DNC, Donna Brazile in particular, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and Barack Obama, those three souls that were sold to the devil have us in the current position that we're in now, with a maniac as the president of these united, and we shouldn't even call them United States because we're not united, President of America. We got a lot of work to do, folks. And at this point, there really is no leader of the DNC, so it's a small wonder. I should take that back. Tom Perez is the leader of the DNC, so I should say there is no leader of the Democratic Party. So it's a small wonder that with all the problems that the Republican Party is undergoing right now, that the Democrats can't take advantage of them because they have no leadership, they have no message, they have nothing. So for us independents, and yes, I'm an independent. I was a Democrat, but I changed over to being an independent even before all of this stuff started. More and more people are dissatisfied with both the Republican and the Democratic parties and are now becoming registered independents. A change is needed. And as I stated initially, there needs to be a change as far as campaign finances concerned, as well as the period over which campaigns are run. A year is way too long. I wish we could go to the British system where their campaign season runs approximately 90 days, and money in itself is not, a huge factor, whereas in America, money is the number one factor, followed by manipulation of the electorate with fake news stories, fake ads, etc. Social media is now damn near king as far as the dissemination of information, whether it's true or not. Most young people get their information from their tablets, pads, and cell phones, rather than through traditional mainstream media, television, and cable. So folks, at least now we know what went down, and it's going to be up to us, I guess, to do something about it, to make a change so that Facebook, Google, and Twitter do not drive our information stream and make decisions for us as to what's right and wrong. And I think I'm going to leave this one there.